players are going?
All good. Go ahead.
Okay, but I'm going to talk to them even if they're not here. Good afternoon. This is an exciting day for the Dream. It's not every day that you sign any of these players that are here today, because they don't change teams much. In fact, but for one out of their collective 28 seasons, each of these new players has played their entire careers for one team. And today, all three of them decided to join the Atlanta Dream. It's humbling. So I say to the new players who aren't here, thank you. Thank you, Bree, BG, Shatori, for seeing what we're building here and committing to be a part of it. When we bought this team 3+ years ago, we set out to create a model franchise in women's sports, a values-based organization, one that would make Atlanta proud. Since that day, we have spent tens of millions of dollars and worked tirelessly toward achieving that goal. Today, I hope Atlanta is proud, because Brittney Griner, Brionna Jones, Shatori Walker are bringing great talent and character to a team that is already loaded with both. And speaking of that team, I want to thank our current players, 3 of whom, Rye, Leash, JC, are here today. Without you, without your hard work on and off the court, without the joy you bring to our team, this day would never have happened. Finally, I want to thank my partners, my wife Robin, Suzanne, Renee, our basketball leadership, Dan, Karl, Brooklyn, our president, Morgan Shaw Parker, and the entire organization. This is an affirmation of all of your hard work. Thank you. And I'd like to now bring up our general manager, Dan Padover. Thank you.
First off, just want to thank you all for coming out today, as well as those of you who are on Zoom. It's a historic day here, not just for the Dream organization, but also the city of Atlanta. I'd be remiss if I didn't also give a few thank yous. Overall, I want to thank Larry, Robin, Suzanne, Renee. Without their continued commitment and resources, and all the support they've shown us, there's no chance we could be in a position to be here today. All of our staff and the entire organization, thank you the last few years for making this organization the vibrant place that it is to be a part of the Atlanta Dream. Especially our basketball staff for the last month we've put into getting here. Karl, Latoya, Brandy, I like to call them the Prague and Poland 4. Brooklyn, Katie, Sid, Liam, it's been a pleasure to be in the trenches with you all the last month. A lot of hard work goes into this. It's always a team effort. We value that from a player perspective, but we also value that from a staff perspective. It's all about the team. To our current players, I've always said, players go to play with other players. And it's taken some time. It started our first draft. We drafted Ryan and Naz. We gave ourselves an influx of talent. We also gave ourselves an influx of great people. And we've continued the whole way. Added Leash the next year, Jordan the next year, and now we're here today. Overall, there's just not often times when you are able to add the 3 players that we're bringing into Atlanta today. This is a monumental moment for the Atlanta Dream. And when Karl and I sat down a few months ago to look at this roster, we said, hey, who's out there and what would be the home run for us? And the home run is here today. As Larry mentioned, an all-time player, first ballot Hall of Famer in BG, a perennial all-star in Brionna Jones, a consecutive 6th Player of the Year finalist in Shatori Walker-Kimbrough. We've added to what we've had, and we finally put the dream on the map. Overall, I want to also welcome some new additions to the dream. I know the BG family's here today, Sherelle and Bash. Welcome to Atlanta. We're happy to have you. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the stage BG, Brionna Jones, Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, and our head coach of the Atlanta Dream, Karl Smesko.
We're going to open the floor to questions. We'll start with Bailey Burmaster.
Dan, I'll start with you. You talked about a home run. This is the biggest signing in Dream history, getting BG. What was that process like, and how crucial was it to get a home run this offseason to prove that this team is ready to compete now and compete for a title now?
Yeah, I mean, always you're looking to get better. I think for us, we felt like we were finally in a position where we were attractive. We were attractive because of the players we have. We were attractive because of the organization we have. We were attractive because of the great city of Atlanta. So had an awesome meeting with BG, first day of free agency, and I think we both felt like this could really be something special.
BG, going off of that, Dan says, Atlanta was attractive, but in your own words, what was it in that meeting in this city that you thought this is a great place to have a new beginning?
Those 3 ladies right there, honestly. It started with them, and everything that they've showed me, my family, and then meeting everyone else here. Every time we come play here too, you just felt the atmosphere. You felt it in the gym. So I knew I wanted to be a part of that.
Karl, you're going to have a big starting 5 now with these addition up here. Curious schematically what you think this team will look like this upcoming season.
Well, that's still yet to be determined. We'll work with the assistants, and I want to talk to our players to see how they think they can best be utilized. And but when you have great players that you get to add to the organization who are also great people, when Dan and I got together, we talked about the direction we wanted to go, and we made it clear that we wanted to compete for a championship, and we were going to bring in people that were competitive and talented, and I think we are well on our way.
Go to Emmanuel, please. Go ahead.
Brionna, I asked you this, Emmanuel Glaze from the Crush Sports Talk. Why Atlanta, and why was this a place for you to make your next move in your career?
I think I chose Atlanta just, like you said, people. Just having the conversations I've had with the organization, with the coaching staff, with the players. I just, felt that the culture that they're bringing in, everything that they've established here is amazing, and I just wanted to be a part of that.
And Shatori, let me ask you this. Coming to Atlanta, I think we have a Maryland connection coming back here with your teammates. What is it about this team that you like as far as the backcourt and the team that they're being put together in Atlanta?
I think for me, it's not even just about their skill set, but you hear about them as people, and their character, and I think that's very important with the foundation that the Atlanta Dream has built. And I just want to be a part of that, and I feel like I can add to it.
We have a question up in front here.
Hey everyone, Megan Hall with USA Today's For the Win. This question is for BG. You mentioned just a couple days ago, I think it was, about relationships and how much they meant to you here in Atlanta. Like, what do you value in relationships? Like, what's important to you?
Honesty, transparency, and just people just being genuine. I feel like it's hard to find that, unfortunately, in today's world. And when you do, you got to hold on to that. And like I said, just every conversation from the moment we first started interacting, it's just been genuine. And you just can't ask for something better than that.
Jamila in the front row.
Hi everyone, welcome to Atlanta. My question is for the players. My name is Jamila Johnson. So I just wanted to ask you, sometimes we hear people say the older a player gets, their play on the floor may not impact the game like when they first came in the league. Just wondering, how has your game evolved over the years and how can you impact the floor?
I think, with getting older, there comes experience that you get from being out there. And I think over the course of my career, my game has improved tremendously since the time that I got drafted until now. I think just being able to add more things to my game every year. So I hope to bring not only my post presence that I'm known for, but also a little more versatility and just doing whatever the team needs. I think that's something that I can bring to the Atlanta Dream.
Five and out.
I think as players get older, IQ comes into play. I'm not going to say as your body breaks down, but I think the mind, not just basketball IQ, but just being able to, take care of your mind off the court as well. And for me, I think that is where I've been trying to expand my game in ways that I could help the team that I'm going to be on today. And then for me, I think even just being able to be versatile, like Bree said. But I think with older players, I guess that's what we are now. IQ seasoned players, there we go. IQ is, I think, the difference maker for me.
Well, probably as the oldest one up here, season. Like you said, you get that experience, with playing overseas, Olympics and everything. I've learned what I needed to do to add to my game, making sure I get my players open on the court. I think that's something that I've done pretty good. Sorry for all those screens, all those years. I'll be getting you open now. And then just stretch my game out. I love to be a bully down low, but I can also step it out when they want to dare me as well. So I think I can help out in that stance as well.
Go to Bailey.
BG, you mentioned those three girls, a big reason why coming to Atlanta. I'm curious what your prior relationship with Leash, Jordan, and Ryan were to this, what you knew about their game and any fun instances or crossovers before coming to Atlanta.
I think we've had some pretty fun moments on the court before, but I was very familiar clearly with their game, always being on the opposite end of it. But our relationship's just always been really good, really fun, really genuine, like I said. From USA camp to just being around the league and always going out our ways to talk to each other and everything. Like I said, you don't see people do that very often, and that meant the world to me, honestly.
Go to Malik.
Hey, how you doing? This is for Shatori. Shatori, you were part of one of the best benches in the league last year. What, I guess, can you take from that situation that can help this team this year?
Yeah, for me, it's just being able to, like I said before, be versatile. And I just embrace whatever role that is given to me, and that could be from year to year, that could be from game to game. But again, for me, it's just embracing that and being the best that I can be and continue to try to get 1% better each day.
Hey guys, this one's for Dan. We were talking, about the high IQ seasoned players, but bringing that experience in here to Atlanta, what was the goal there, and how do you hope they can, provide this playoff experience they have to the team right now?
Yeah, always you're looking for talent first because you need talent to win. But being a great teammate and having experience is what gets you to the next step. And we've had some success, but we want to take the next step, and these players are going to help us get there.
This question is for Coach Karl. Great 3 months for you. Getting hired, and now you come and you already had talent on the team, but then you bring in 3 talented players like this. We know what you did at Florida Gulf Coaches for your Florida Gulf Coast as far as your offense. But when you get talent like this, how do you blend what you believe in and make sure you get the most out of your talent that you got?
Well, that's the key, and that's what stays the same, is putting players in position to play their best. And to get talent like this makes it an easy job for me. You know, they are so good at what they do. I just have to help put them in position where they can do what they do best. One just amazing thing about who we've brought in is they're, you know, super productive, they're super efficient, and they're also super unselfish. So that's not a very common combination, and to get that in 3 players and be able to add that to the group that we have returning, it has the makings for a very special team, and that is the expectation.
We'll do the same.
Welcome to Atlanta. Sam Crenshaw, 92-90 game, and also Atlanta 69. Brittney, you played your entire career in the West. You played your entire career out West. Now you're coming to the East, where the defending champion is. Thoughts about the team you're seeing here and around you, and how you look forward to playing against the teams in the East. You got some of the new up-and-coming teams with some of the new blood from last season.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the level of play that's already been here in Atlanta and how the East is, getting even better. I'm looking forward to emerging into that and being a part of it. We still gonna go out there. We're gonna take it out west when we go out there too as well and take it to them. But I'm really excited to be on this side. We say the East, but Atlanta is the South for me, and that's what I grew up in, and that's another thing that brought me here too as well, is having that Southern culture as well.
All right.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to Atlanta. Maria Martin, 11 Alive. BG, bouncing off of Sam's question really quickly, more specifically about the women that you've watched and played against here in Atlanta. You mentioned them earlier that you were familiar with their game, but what excites you about the way that they play that you're now their teammate?
One, getting out and running, honestly. I know some people think that's a little surprising to hear me say, but I'm looking forward to getting out and running with them. Setting that screen and seeing that ball go up over my head into that goal is going to make me very happy. So just everything that they do out on the perimeter, and it's gonna make my life easier too. Also on the flip side, down low, and when they start to try to double in, I know I got shooters out there that's gonna knock it down for me.
This is for all 3 of you. Since we're talking about being seasoned in the WNBA, why did it make sense at this point in all of your careers to come to Atlanta?
I think for me, just coming out of Connecticut, playing there for 8 years, and just gaining so much experience, going to the finals, playoffs, multiple years in a row. I think it was just time to venture on and explore something new this year. And just like I said, after talking and knowing what's here in Atlanta, knowing the talent and the caliber and what's already established here, it was something that I wanted to join it and be a part of. And I'm excited for this new challenge, and I'm ready to continue to grow as a player and hopefully bring all that experience and that seasoned that experience to the journey.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I would definitely agree. Along with the foundation they already have built, but also with the investors that are very much in tune with the players, the way the connection that they have, and then also like the city, how much the culture that we can feel at the games. I mean, being an away team, it's hard to play in Atlanta. So I'm happy to be on this side for sure. And then all the great things I hear about Coach Karl, it was definitely a no-brainer for me.
I mean, when you read a book, you don't stay on one chapter. There's multiple chapters to a book, and I just thought it was time for my next chapter in my career, and then as well as the history that's here is rich, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to embrace that, learn more about it as well, and then everything that they've done with this team, I always sat back in amazement on how it's trended and changed, and I knew that was something I needed to be a part of, like I said, and I couldn't miss out on it with these amazing ladies.
Go ahead, Jamila.
I just want to know, with Ryan Howard being the resident TikTok content creator specialist, has she prepared you for, I know BG, I saw you in one already, has she prepared you for being in some TikTok videos, some videos in the upcoming season?
I'm not prepared, but I'm ready. I wasn't really with the TikTok and all that. She got me ready now.
Shatori.
I was actually told this morning that I would be in one. It's not a question mark at the end. So.
We're going to flick over to Zoom. Howard, go ahead.
Congratulations, you guys. Howard Magdal, the next here. Just actually want to ask Dan and Karl, if I could, if you just take me through the way in which you see the offensive fit here. Karl, I know when we've talked about building a W team is different than the makeup of a team at FGCU, but sort of how you put together a team of shooters relative to a team here where both BG and Bree get a lot of their points in and around the paint as well.
You want to start, Dan, or?
You got it.
Yeah, well, it's about getting high return and efficient shots. And with Bree and BG, you're talking about two of the most efficient players, in the league right now. And then you surround them with the talent that we have and their ability to space the floor. I just don't see it being much of an issue. And then the other thing is, it's not just their skill around the basket, which is exceptional. They are skilled, talented basketball players. They're good passers, they're very smart, and they're very good shooters. And I look forward to seeing them expand that shooting even to beyond the three-point line. So I expect this to be a real positive fit, and they'll be able to play with each other and off of each other. And with the combining that with the talent that we have, I expect us to be one of the best teams.
Ben, I don't know if you had anything to add to that, but while we're at it, just BG, I know we've talked about you shooting the three. That's something you really like to do, and I'm just wondering whether that came up in the midst of the conversations at any point. Bree, I know you've added it to your game, and Shatori, you've always had it.
Whatever it takes to win, honestly. I'm not trying to go live out on a three, that's for sure. But, if it's there, as long as it's going in. Gotta be efficient, so as long as it's going in.
Thank you all.
We'll go to Jackie. Jackie, go ahead.
Hi all, congratulations, Jackie Powell with the next. I've got one for Dan and one for BG, if that's all right. Dan, I'm curious if you can take us through what this moment means to you after you've been working to build the dream from the ground up since, I believe, the beginning of 2022.
Yeah, appreciate the question. Extremely rewarding, mostly because it's all about these guys right here. And you build it piece by piece, and you want to see it all come together, and people want to join forces. And the fact that these players wanted to come to Atlanta, and that our players drew people to Atlanta, makes you feel like you're doing something right. So, as Karl mentioned, we got a lot of work to do ahead of us, but we feel like we've started by putting ourselves in a great position.
I appreciate that. And BG, for you, you were talking about the legacy and the history of the dream, and so I'm just curious how this organization maybe provides you a different type of platform to do some off-court advocacy work, which I know is really important to you.
Super important to me. I mean, even on the drive-in today, everyone knows that, I started one of my foundations, giving back shoes to the homeless. It's something that I take a great joy in, being a voice for people that sometimes get their voice taken away from them, because no one should ever have their voice taken away. So it's already something that was in my mind, and then driving in today, I was just noticed a few little things, and I can't wait to get into the community, honestly. It's a big part of me and my family and what we do, and pouring into where you're going to be living.
Thank you both.
We'll go to Willie Ramirez. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good to see you, ladies. PG again for a second straight day. This could be for any one of you three, but I remember when Alicia Gray came to Vegas for the All-Star game a few years ago, and we talked about her first year in Atlanta, and she kept using the word free. She felt free finally, and it was sort of uplifting to her career at that point. I'm wondering if you could just touch upon that, and I apologize if you already answered that. I had some glitches earlier with my Zoom, so I didn't hear a lot of the answers. But in terms of sort of a different vibe in basically, how her career went differently than it did in Dallas.
Can we specify who the question's for, Willie?
Let's go with BG. Only because last night she talked a lot about the reason on the Unrivaled, the reasons why she chose Atlanta and the players. She just felt really comfortable being back in the South, wanting to raise her son there. So I'm just curious about, she can expound upon that.
I mean, like we said back then, just being free. It just, there's a vibe here. And when you play against the Dream, you could see it, you can feel it, how they interact with each other, how the whole organization. I was tired of hearing Renee yell at me on the court as well, so now I just keep yelling for me. Just being in the South, I grew up in the South, my wife grew up in the South. It was something that we want our son to experience as well here. Just being free and just having a new chapter. Sometimes you get put into a box, and then it's hard to change that, and then you have to make a move or do something different. And this is my different to show that this seasoned player still got it.
Thank you.
We'll go to Ben Pigman. Ben, go ahead.
Thanks, Liam. Just one for Dan. Players around the league almost uniformly signed one-year contracts this year. I guess, what do you guys need to do to ensure that a year from now, the three players to your left are still here, or still in Atlanta, and that this is not just a one-year trial for all three of them?
Yeah, thanks, Ben. That starts tomorrow, Ben. But no, look, that's our job. Our job is day in, day out to show these players why not only they should come here, but why they should stay here. And I've always said the most important thing is to recruit your own players. So throughout this year, we'll always be recruiting our own players, making sure they feel loved, making sure they feel how important they are to us so that they never want to leave and always be a part of the city.
And we'll finish with Akeem. Akeem, go ahead. You're on, Akeem.
Don't be shy.
All right, I think we have one more question in the room, Charles.
Charles Odom with the Associated Press. Kind of a natural follow-up to the question about one-year trial. Does the CBA looming in the distance? This is for Brittney. I understand your high expectations are nothing new for you, but does it put a sense of urgency to take advantage of this collection that you have now in this season coming?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people, like I said, I'll just say this with the CBA. A lot of people sign one-year deals. It's more than just money. I don't want people to think that everybody's signing a one-year deal just because they're money crazy. There's a lot of other important things that are going to be in our CBA that people want to be eligible for. I'll just say this, not to get too far ahead. My track record is I make a decision, I stick with it. So I'll just leave it at that right there.
I think that's a nice note to end on. We're going to come to the front and present jerseys, and then after that we will do individual player scrums for a brief moment over here. So we'll do the jerseys first, and then we'll go to that. Thank you everyone for attending.